We're a little early. I think we're starting 6:30 tonight, but apparently the stream has not caught up yet. So we're just hanging out. Who's with me here? Let's see. We got J-Man Drums, welcome. And looks like we got a visitor. If you're a visitor, follow the stream. J-Man Drums, let's go, Jazz. Let's go, Hoops Nerd. That's right. Let's go. Let's go. And who is out there watching the Cooper Flag highlights? Duke beat, I think it was like Arizona State by like 60 points their last game. Cooper didn't even have to do much. All right, let's see. So I am going to make sure I get one of these things. I got to do some housekeeping on the backside. All of this requires some work, guys. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so Golden State. Let's see. Oh, that was... Guys, what do you think? Do you think the Jazz can continue their losing streak tonight, or do you think that that this will be a Utah Jazz win? By the way, there we go. Got it going. All right. Why is that not giving me sound, actually? Weird. Why am I... Let me check. Let's see. Oh, I had it muted. All right, here we go. Looks like it's... I thought we did the Jazz one, but looks like it's Dallas. I actually... Oh, look, it's all... Jazz, former Jazz man Devin Harris. Is that who I'm seeing? J-Man Drums, I think we lose to the Mavs for sure. This is definitely going to be a potential Luka Doncic big-time night, but we'll see. Kyrie seems to play the Jazz really well the last season or two. Let me make sure everything is covered here. Guys, we're just doing some housekeeping here a little bit as we wait for the Jazz game to start. Looks like we're going to get a national anthem here in a second. All right. Can I just reveal something? Sven, I don't know if you're talking, but you might be muted. I went to 7-Eleven. I got my... This stream is not officially sponsored by Mountain Dew, but it is definitely powered by it. But anyways, I went to 7-Eleven. Also not a sponsor of the show, 7-Eleven. And they had, and I'm going to share this story while they sing the national anthem. I apologize. But they had hot dog flavored chips with like, but it was like, I'm a little sick to my stomach from the chips. They were hot dogs with ketchup, mustard, and relish flavor. And I partook. And you know what? It tasted exactly like they said it would. And I don't feel particularly great. So I may need to go grab some Tums. In fact, I might go grab them here really quickly. All right, let's see. So we got me and Sven tonight. Sven, I'm excited. I don't think I've actually done one of these with you. I don't know if Sven can hear me. Last game, the Jazz lost by like 50. We'll see if the Jazz can do better this time. By the way, if you go to SLC Dunk, you can read our latest. We have a trade rumor up there. The Lakers want Walker Kessler. Just straight up, that's what they want. And we'll see if the Jazz will oblige. All right, let's see. That's there. Boom. Okay. Guys, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go get some Tums from the hot dog chips. I'll be right back. I am curious with the Mavericks because more or less Klay Thompson felt a little washed to me last season. I mean, he's still shooting the ball well, but he's actually looked pretty decent on the Mavericks. I think the nice thing for him is that with the Mavericks, he can basically be a catch and shoot 3-point shooter. Oh, looks like Sven's having a little issue. Let me see. Let me switch back to my other Twitter. I'm on SLC Dunk. All right, let's see. Let's see. I think Sven. Let's also give you VIP. That might help. Sven, does that help you? Right now. All right, let's see. So while Sven's figuring that out, and Sven, honestly, all right, let's see. So while we are waiting for Sven's restarting to see if maybe that helps. Welcome, S69. Is it S69 or ES69? Hey, there we go. Sven's here.
There we go. Thank you.
All right. Well, are you excited to watch the Jazz play tonight? I'm excited. This is my happy place. I know the Jazz are likely losing this game, but it's going to be fun.
There's so many good things to watch for, though. I mean, even in losing games, maybe we're sickos, but there is good things to watch for.
Oh, absolutely. I get a kick out of watching the young guys. Honestly, things I'm looking for is like, because in the end, all these players, including Lowry Markkinen, are likely not even on the Jazz in like 4 seasons. If you know what I mean, unless they really develop and show something. Maybe Markkinen, maybe depending on kind of how the next 2 seasons go and lotteries and things like that. But like, I just want to see if any of our rookies can be a core piece of a championship team. That's really what I'm looking for. Like, the one I honestly am probably the most interested in is Taylor Hendricks. Like, I just want to see a little bit, like, at the very least, can he be like a knockdown 3-point shooter? If he does that, then he becomes so interesting. But
The second half of both the last 2 games, I think, have been a great showcase of what he can do.
yeah,
Shot the ball well, rebounded, kind of did all the extra stuff that Hardy was asking for last season.
mm-hmm. I liked that story. Apparently, oh, there's a nice shot. Apparently, Will Hardy had the Jazz watch the entire game last game as a team. Oh, that was great.
I wonder what they talk about in those rooms. Like, how pointed is it? Like, hey, guys, come on now.
Well,
Look at
for
this.
real. And I honestly, like, he was right. It's like after a while, just like yelling at guys or lecturing, or after a while, you just start getting the same. I thought that was kind of a good idea. Just here, let's just watch this and tell me what you think was good about this.
I mean, that probably is going to be on the clip on tomorrow's film room, is an early shot in the shot clock, not even touching rim from Key.
I know, and I just want to see some consistency from Key, because we know there's like a high ceiling there if he can figure it out. But man, can we get some consistency here?
Well, I think there's that. I think there's some truth to him needing to kind of not let those moments of bad play ruin his entire game in terms of what else he can do in impact.
Oh, absolutely. He honestly gets so in his head. It's crazy. And sometimes you're like, it's okay, Keontae. It's okay. It's just a miss. Can you please get back? The Jazz are
All right.
creating good shots, though. That's a good shot.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much truth there is to the Kessler rumors, but I mean, he's first 2 games in,
He's
especially
played
the first game.
well.
He's played
I
well.
mean, those rumors are real. The question is, and it's interesting because like the one rumors obviously came from New York before they traded for Cat, and then these ones are obviously coming from the Lakers. Like it's the same thing with the Lowry rumors. It was very obvious those rumors were coming from the people trying to trade for Lowry. But the question is, do the Jazz actually want to do it? The thing is it feels like they've already kind of set the price, kind of like they did with Lowry. And if you want Kessler, you got to give 2 first-round picks. If you don't give 2 first-round picks, you're not getting Kessler.
At some point, you gotta realize whether or not how many times you can trade away those players for picks, and how often you're just going to be trying to draft the same player that you just traded away.
Yeah, and I like Kessler. It's funny, like it feels like he is a player type that you can get mid to late first round if you really want like a rim protecting, like even like the Knicks. Who's their center that's hurt right now?
Mitchell Robertson.
Yeah, there's like Mitchell Robinson's out there. I know the Mavericks got what's his name on their team, their center that they really like, but like what was it, 10 or 11? I can't remember, but
Yeah, something like that.
but you can get them. I don't know. The Jazz have not refuted anything. That's what's always a little interesting to me. They haven't come out and said no, he's
Right.
not. I don't know. It is interesting. It's something to watch. It's just I think Danny just kind of holds to his guns, which is good.
Who do you think the first one shipped away this season is, though?
It's a good question. It's really, I mean, the question almost is like, who do they want to and who actually, they'd love to trade Jordan Clarkson, I'm sure. They'd love to trade John Collins, but that's probably not going to be likely because they can check basketball. Other teams can check basketball reference just like us. So it's like, I think Colin Sexton would be my pick if I was betting on it. I think
Yeah,
honestly, I think they're going to try to do that. Just because Colin Sexton really does just not quite fit what the Jazz are doing at this point. Lowry Markkanen fits a little bit. If you can win the pick and keep Lowry, that's amazing.
right.
It just is, what is Lowry's pain tolerance, I guess, for losing?
I don't know. He signed his extension with fully in mind, knowing he won't get traded this year, knowing
That's the
he's going to
thing
lose a
is
bunch
like,
of games.
that's the thing is he gave away his free agency, as you will. So it's like, if you don't like it, too bad. Well,
Yeah.
we got Walker Kessler turnaround mid-range jumpers going. And I tell you what, one thing I've been a little surprised, Markkanen's not been able to hit that kind of mid-range jump shot so far this year. It's only 3 games, but there you go. And he missed it. Doggone it. Some of those
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
had a tough time.
well, it's like, how is that even a miss? Normally he does make the, I don't know. I don't get it.
I think
Utah's
Lowry's
just
going to
not
have.
hitting.
He's going to have either, he's going to take every shot in the world
There we
like
go.
that. But I think it's going to be worse than last season in terms of the defensive focus on him, because in the starting 5, if Key's not scoring, what are you going to do? Give Clarkson the ball a bunch of times? That's probably, you're happy with that on defense. So he's just going to get draped all game, every game.
And I think Utah is actually maybe a little worse than I expected. I did not really take the. Come on, that's where Utah needs to get a little better. Is how did he get the rebound? Like how, like that? Because Hendricks is right there. That's a little bit of Hendricks too. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, Dapper's just standing down there. I don't know. I don't know. But so far, Markkanen's 1 for 6. Key is 0 for 2. Good grief. It gets tough. I mean, then you start running offense through Colin Sexton, but Colin Sexton gets a little gets the blinders on a little bit, and it doesn't always translate to winning. I don't know.
Well, he loves. I know. I assume the coaching staff talks him out of it a bunch, but he loves his little baseline mid range and free throw mid range jumpers, and he'll shoot those every possession if he has a chance, which I don't know is the best.
Yeah,
Best
I
offense to run through.
like that's what's funny is some of these players, and he's like one of those perfect examples. Like sometimes efficiency doesn't always mean it's good, and I don't know how to even like quantify it. Because like Sexton he'll shoot like 50-40, and you'll be like, holy cow. But I don't know. It is really hard to. I guess if Sexton was 6'6" and defending at an elite level, then it kind of changes things. But Utah's defense is still putrid. In fact, I kind of just for curious, I'm going to look at their rankings right now.
I'd bet a pretty penny that we're at the bottom.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember
after
last season. Yeah, last season, the season before that, Colin Sexton and Jordan Clarkson were 2 of the bottom 25 defenders in the NBA.
Yes, they're just not. It's just a lot of what you're getting on the one end, you're giving it up on the other, especially with Jordan Clarkson, who's shooting like sub 30% 3-point shooting. It's pretty bad. So now let's see, for the year 2024 regular season offensive rating. Where are we on offense? Utah is the number 29 offense this season so far. And Utah is the number 28 defense. So there you go.
Color me surprised, right?
Yeah, not great. I tell you what, it really is. Like you mentioned, if Key is not shooting well or playing well, this team gets so bad so fast. Like so fast.
I
And
watched the Blazers versus the Pelicans last night, and I remember during draft time we were talking about how Key could kind of form into something that Anthony Simons is,
yeah,
and it was super evident last night watching Anthony Simons because it was almost a carbon copy of Key, both good and bad, with the shot selection and the kind of fluidity that he has, but also with the rough misses and kind of questionable shots. And yeah, that's a good ceiling if that's somewhere where Key can get, but you kind of hope for something a little bit more efficient than that.
hmm yeah, he definitely is kind of like a score first point guard type, and that's why I kind of feel like if Key can kind of find that efficiency, like because Anthony Simons is pretty high efficiency with his shooting.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of perfect to play off of a superstar if you can get him. But and honestly, that last possession was a good example. The ball does seem to be moving better this year. That's
Oh,
pretty
that's
good
great.
that's offense right there, and that's the hockey assist for Key. But so I do feel like the offense is flowing, but man, the shots just haven't been falling.
Mm-mm.
See, there you go. See, I want to see something like that from Hendricks more. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Where do you think, I know that we did our preseason rankings, but knee-jerk reaction in the first two games this season, who do you think we're better? Who do you think we're worse than right now?
And I watched that last game with Portland too, and they just beat the Pelicans, and they should have beat them the other night too. We're the worst team in the Western Conference. That's no question.
Mhm.
I mean, if Key goes on a heater and stuff, we can surprise some teams possibly. Although I don't know if the Jazz will even let them surprise anyone. They might just like yank them and say. But we're definitely worse in the Western Conference. I tell you what, the site that does so good that I really love is Tankathon is just great. And I honestly think the rankings there. So Washington's the worst. There's no question.
Easy,
They are
easy.
putrid. They are so bad. But when you watch like Portland, by the way, what is Portland's record? Portland is 1-2. They've got a group of like veterans and like solid rotation players. Utah is so young. Portland's better than us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Detroit seems better than 0-3. They should have beat Boston the other night. I watched that game and I was rooting so hard for Detroit, and they looked pretty good. They just couldn't hit shots. At the very end, they were up by like 8 with like 3 minutes left. So annoying. But anyways, I think Detroit is better than us. I just because what makes it hard is Markkanen's such a good player. But he's a pretty purely off the ball player. He does so many awesome things off the ball, but he is kind of dependent on your playmaking. And so I think that's why I might give Detroit the edge on us, because Cade Cunningham looks like he's taken a little bit of a leap. He looks like really good, and the ball's in his hands a lot. Right now, the ball's in the hands of, like, for the Jazz, it's like Jordan Clarkson right now. It's in Key's hands, who is starting the season in a slump. I think we might be the second worst. I guess who else would we? I guess Brooklyn might be worse than us. Maybe we're
They
like
might,
the
but they
third.
just beat the Bucks, and that might
They
be
just
more of
beat the
a
Bucks.
indication of the Bucks than it is about the Nets right now. But
Yeah, well, and I guess Ben Simmons hurt his back already. I
yeah.
don't know. But I think we're probably number 3. If all right,
There
Key,
you go.
okay. But I think that we're just relying on Keontae George, who's a second-year point guard, learning the position at the same time. That's just tough to win. That's really tough to win games. There's a
Yeah,
nice play
Kessler's
by
playing pretty
Kessler.
well.
Yeah, Kessler's playing at another level this year, and so I wonder if he does it. I don't know. I'm so fascinated to see what the Jazz do, because I think this whole team is fluid. You could really. What do you think? So I know some of the guys on the team are very pro trading for someone like Giannis, and that is certainly seeming like a potential possibility. What do you think about that?
It depends on who. I wouldn't like somebody on the wrong side of 30. I just don't think it makes sense. You're gonna have the timelines, you're closing your timeline after you try to trade for that person, and that leaves you with who? That leaves you with Luka. That leaves you with Trae Young, and in some worlds, maybe if the Celtics implode, Jaylen Brown, and that's kind of your only options. I don't think Luka's going to happen. I think
No
Trae Young
way.
is the most likely of the three, but you really want to spend, your Lakers 27 pick and a Minnesota pick and a Cleveland pick for him. I don't know. So I think at this point it's just, I think the Jazz also realize that, so that's why we're gonna try to be the worst team in the league at this point.
Oh, I'm sure if like that happens, you'll see like the Jazz are also in the running. It's because Danny's going to call and be like, "Well, we'll offer you these picks." But I mean, you look at this team right now, and you add Giannis to this team, and you're going to have to give something. I mean, at the very least, you have to match contracts.
Right.
I don't know how good we are. Like, it's probably a playoff team because Giannis is that good. But I don't know if it's a championship team.
No, and do you want to cough up Cody Williams or Taylor Hendricks or even Isaiah Collier or Kyle Filipowski? I know those aren't, you probably every day of the week you trade Cody or Isaiah Collier and Kyle Filipowski for Giannis, but those other guys, you're like, well, is that worth it? If you're adding picks to that.
Mm-hmm. I do kind of love the trajectory the Jazz are on. Just let these guys. Oh my gosh, Key is struggling. Man. But like, I do like the idea of just letting these players play, find out who.
Yeah.
And because I just don't think we're just not even close. And even if it's like Giannis and Lowry, that's a fun duo. But we don't have a lot else. Like, you watch what he's doing right now; he's struggling.
Yeah.
Like,
And also,
George is not there yet.
I think if you make a trade, you have to make a trade for a guard or a playmaking forward, because Giannis or Lowry, he scores his points at an assisted rate higher than Rudy Gobert does, which is nuts. That's just it's crazy. So you just can't get somebody who won't facilitate the ball as your main piece alongside Lowry, because I think that just kind of diminishes his ability.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of what Cody Williams just did there. It's just not working. I think Cody Williams is actually going to be a nice player.
I think so too.
And I'm glad he's going through these mistakes right now, because I kind of feel like the G League development's a little overrated. What is Jordan Clarkson?
I don't know how it's not a carry, but
that's what I thought. Yeah, he got.
I would have loved to see what Bowler said about that one. Some Houdini action right there,
huh? They get quiet. You know what's funny is like, you can tell that there's like a PR like push with certain things during the broadcast that they'll say, "We want you to talk about this. We don't want you to talk about this." And like, what was I watching where it was back with Quinn Snyder, and I remember it was the stuff with, what was his name? Get on the bench over
who?
That Quinn would always, Shelvin Mack, I think it was.
There's Shelvin Mack. There's Emmanuel Mudiay.
Yeah, and like was it Shelvin Mack? No way am I
over Dante Exum? It was Shelvin Mack, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, and it was even after Dante came back, and that's a whole other saga, whether you believe in Dante or not. But I remember they used to just give the green light to like badmouth Dante, because that's fit with what Quinn was doing at the time. But there was this one play, I remember it was so horrendously bad. Like, it was like he dribbled up, Quinn told him to run a play, he didn't run it, he ran something else, and it was like this airball solo thing. And I remember just the silence from Bowler and Phil. I have no clue how to like comment on it. I don't know.
I do. That was when I kind of realized, like, oh, I think they do talk to them. Like,
Yeah.
you need to talk this guy up. You need to, like, this guy is who Quinn's playing, so let's just talk him up. By the way, is that Shelvin? No, that's not Shelvin Mack in the middle there. If that's Shelvin Mack right there in the middle, no way.
I can't tell. I think that's why I had a hunch early in the season that we were going to have a bunch of broadcast guests during games, that we are going to have them all the time. I think it's to fill airspace. I really do.
Oh, you think it was Hill Air Force Base?
No. I think that they're gonna bring a bunch of on-air guests, like how they brought Ostertag and all those, just to fill airspace.
Oh, to fill air. I was like, what about Hill Air? No, I think you're right. They got to do something. So what happens with these tanking seasons too is they start advertising the other team. That's when you know you're down bad. And they're like, oh, you get to watch Giannis is here tonight. Oh, get tickets to watch, Luka Doncic in Utah. Like, that's when you know it's bad. Because then they can advertise Lowry. Maybe that's why they brought Lowry back. But I don't know. What do you think? I know I'm kind of the heretic, but do you think they keep Lowry next season?
Oh, I know that you've been on the trade Lowry train since he got here. You've been ready to go. You would have walked his bags to the plane for him.
Well, I would have. I would have wished him well. I would have bought him lunch and dinner and given him a gift card. But I just for the last 2 years, it just never made sense to me. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. My personal prediction is I think there's going to be, well, whether they actually trade him is one thing, but I think there's going to be a lot of teams asking again next offseason.
Absolutely. I think it'll depend. I think that they didn't want to pull the trigger so quickly because I think he's just so good. I think, the first game of him scoring 35 on 15 shots or whatever it was. I mean, I just don't know how many guys in the league you can get who are going to not even dribble the ball and get, 35 on that many shots. So I don't think they wanted to pull the trigger on it unless it was just a Godfather haul. I do think next offseason, if we got Cooper Flagg in the draft, what are you going to do with Cody Williams, Taylor Hendricks, Cooper Flagg, Larry Markkinen, and Walker Kessler?
I was thinking about that because I've been following Duke. Obviously, they play Cooper Flagg at the 4. Now, it doesn't mean that's what he's going to play in the NBA, but it does kind of feel like that's his kind of. If you win him, he kind of does seem like that playmaking 4.
Yeah.
Which would fit kind of with like a Taylor Hendricks or Lowry Markkinen, so maybe you're fine,
Maybe.
But it'll be interesting. The Jazz do all of a sudden have a bunch of like power forwards though that like, and I really
got so many.
Oh, go ahead.
They got so many that we're pretending that John Collins is actually effective as a center, which.
Yeah. He doesn't. Well, the thing is he's just so immobile at the 4. I don't know. John Collins, that's the thing that didn't work out.
Yeah.
It's kind of really sad that it kind of was Atlanta that won that trade because they got off the contract. That's kind of a little depressing.
Yeah, I know.
There you go, Lowry. I like that. Turn into anything, but
Patty Mills looked a little rough last game.
Yeah. Well, that's not great either.
Yeah, right on cue.
I guess in Utah's defense, this is like the reigning Western Conference champions. The Mavericks are good.
Do you think they got better? You saw that whole thing online about whether or not the Mavericks got better with Klay Thompson. Do you think that's what do you think on that?
I don't know. I think Klay is I guess he kind of fits their scheme pretty well because he can just catch and shoot threes, but I don't know how good he is defensively. I don't know if they're worse or better. I think they're about the same, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if the Derrick Jones Jr. loss is as bad as I think it was made out to be. I think he was great. He was a great player last year, but I don't know if I think that the shooting of Klay Thompson Derrick Jones Jr. had one good season of shooting, and that was last year. Klay Thompson's had like 16 of them.
Well, and they ran into like, man, I really want Cody Williams to hit some threes. My God, but it's kind of a defense for offense trade. Dang, Kyrie is.
Wow. That trade, I remember at the time I felt kind of iffy about the Irving trade, but that's really paid off in bunches since.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone thought it would kind of go. I mean, it obviously worked. They got to the finals. He kind of is the perfect player next to Luka. He seems to have been able to avoid controversy for at least a full season now, so that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. He seems happy. ES69, I don't know. I mean, I don't follow hockey very much. It seems like they started off well and then had a few injuries, and now they're losing because they had some injuries. That's my hockey analysis.
All I understand is that they got a bad defense. They got a real bad defense.
And I guess the guys they brought over for defense got hurt. So
yeah.
So
you going to a game?
I have not. I am usually doing this, and the thing is, I don't love going to games. That's my little. I don't love going to games because it just the parking to get home. I do my YouTube stuff after, so I'm usually up till like 2 a.m. and
right.
And I just don't love it.
Yeah.
This is pretty good. But yeah, I don't follow the hockey at all. I am actually, now that you say that, isn't the World Series going on? Ah, shoot. Dodgers are up 3-0. Well, dang it. I shouldn't have even looked.
You're rooting for the Yankees?
Yeah.
It's not a good pick either way, honestly. It's not a good pick either way.
My dad, my grandpa, they're all Yankee people.
Are they?
But
looks like James kind of timed out there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the hockey team goes. The games are kind of expensive to go to. So somebody who doesn't really watch that much hockey, it's kind of a tough pill to pull, like James said. Parking and everything, it makes it kind of difficult. Are you back?
I'm back. Cut out there for a little bit. Anyways, I was gonna say Yankees Dodgers is a lot like if it was like Knicks Lakers or something like that in the finals. So I'm sure the MLB is happy with it.
I'm sure they're happy with it. And I see that you're a Packers fan.
I am. I grew up one, and I kind of lost a little interest when Brett Favre left because I loved Brett Favre as a kid, and then he turned out to be a weirdo, and and so I kind of just was teamless, and I didn't have a player to root for. Yeah, Brett Favre went down quite the
rabbit hole.
Well, absolutely, just fell off the popularity train like crazy by his own doing.
Yeah.
But then I didn't like Aaron Rodgers very much because of the whole Brett Favre thing. So I didn't have a team forever. And then a couple seasons ago, they got Jordan Love, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start rooting for him again. And it finally kind of clicked again. So I tried on some other teams for fun. I rooted a little bit for the Giants, who my dad likes because the Yankees and Giants, but it didn't take. So back to the Packers, which is fun. They're pretty good. I wish Jordan Love would stop getting injured, but he's he's really good.
He looks great. Yeah. I'm a Bills fan, so you combine that with being a Jazz fan and a Utah Utes fan, and it's just pain all the time. You just heartbreak over and over and over.
The Bills are kind of like the Utah Jazz of the NFL because
they absolutely are.
They are always pretty good, or at least close. You know, they've had heartbreaking losses in the Super Bowl. I don't know. They're kind of Jazz NFL.
Oh, I know, and I don't think I'll ever forget us losing the game in 13 seconds against Kansas City. That was
Oh
just
my
like the
gosh,
most.
that was painful. I was rooting because I don't like the Chiefs. I don't mind. I just hate it when there's a team that just always wins. That's where I get
Yeah,
just like. So I rooted against the Patriots because they would always win, and now it's the Chiefs. They always win, and that was a painful loss. I'm not gonna lie, that was
yeah.
unbelievable.
I was running around my house screaming, "We're going to the Super Bowl," and
It got taken away.
they got taken away.
I don't even like to think about it.
No.
And it just seems like there's a team in the NFL that just either they just have, it's weird. There's like just like a luck factor. I think they get a little bit of star treatment, but man, just things seem to always just kind of work out for Kansas City. Just
I
like
know.
with New England. It's just like it's so
Yeah.
frustrating.
How do we feel about Bryce Sensabaugh's start to the season?
I'm not the biggest. He's shown some signs, but he's one of those players where I'm like, the idea of Sensabaugh might be better than the reality
Mm-hmm.
because we know he can shoot, but then you look at his percentages and they're just like, that's a nice pass from him.
Yeah.
He's had some moments this season though, and I think he's definitely worth just trying to develop. You know,
Yeah.
I like his size. I like the skill set. He seems like he can defend a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like there's just like a little something that's kind of lacking there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. But I'd rather watch him develop than Ochai.
I agree. Ochai I had a lot of hopes for. I thought he could be like that 3-and-D kind of a 2-3 combo. And he just was so passive.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a couple of good games so far for Toronto this season.
Yeah, like he'll have and he had those with us. It's so weird that he'll have that just passive. It's just he'll be invisible at times.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Sensabaugh can handle the ball better, then it changes things a little bit. He just seems to like turn the ball over. It's kind of crazy, actually. I've been a little surprised how much he turns it over.
Yeah.
If he can clean that up, then he gets pretty interesting. He does have kind of that mid-range game. He does seem like he can be a really nice 3-point shooter, and he's only in his second season too. So it's like we don't have to. Jury's definitely still out.
Yeah.
That's the thing. This whole team, like, I don't think you can make a definitive thing about Hendricks, Key.
Oh,
sheesh!
Wow,
that was nice.
Yeah. Was it worth $25 million?
That's a $25 million dunk. You better enjoy it.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, that's what happens on the other end.
Yep.
But I think that just Jury's still out with all these players on the Jazz. There's no way to know.
No.
I think
Larry's getting. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I think Larry is getting a tough whistle tonight. I think he's also been getting a tough whistle in general. He gets the line a lot, but I sometimes think that just his nature of kind of bumping him and burling through the lane, he gets fouled more than I think he gets credit for.
He gets calls, yeah. Golden State was absolutely like mauling him.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's just the game plan for a lot of these teams is just like Lowry's their best guy, so just beat him up, make life terrible.
I would do that if I was. I mean, that's a.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Utah needs to be a better defensive rebounding team, just flat out. And some of that's just size, but
it is. I also think a lot of it is what we talk about with Ochai and his problem with being active. I mean, the Hendricks and Williams can both be caught being passive. Sensabaugh had that problem last year. He's done better of it this year. Collins is kind of sometimes passive. So I think it's just kind of also a general passivity on the team.
Yeah. I tell you what, that's another thing too. Oh, it's nice that Lowry gets the free throw, but the culture thing that people make jokes about and talk about, your culture changes so fast when you have a centerpiece guy, and your team kind of takes on that player's personality a little bit. Like I think the Wolves are a good example. They just take on Anthony Edwards' swagger.
Yeah.
And it's just hard to have that when like Lowry is a great guy and he's a good locker room guy, I'm sure. I don't know if Lowry is like this commanding presence, you know.
I don't think so.
And it's fine.
Which doesn't have to be, yeah.
He doesn't have to be, but you don't really have this guy on the Jazz that like everyone's like looking at and hoping that he leads the way. Everyone's kind of like trying to make their imprint in the league, and Key's trying to prove that he's a Kyrie Irving type, and Taylor Hendricks is trying to prove this, and they don't really have like a corner. They just don't have a cornerstone guy. They just don't.
No.
And it really matters. I tell you what, like when you're coaching, and I know my coaching experience is like marbles, but when you have that kid in comp leagues in the AAU and stuff that just like, I tell you what, it is so nice when you got that kid that has that, what do they say, that dog in him? Like,
yeah.
It is, it matters. It really does. And like,
it does.
Other players feed off of it. And then if that guy's your best player, it's kind of magic. Like it's kind of, I mean, Luka, I don't love like the complaining from Luka, but he does have swagger, and their team does seem to feed off of that. I don't know. This Mavericks team is going to be really good this year.
It is. You know, I used to coach junior Jazz too, so.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure you're familiar. Once you got that kid that can kind of do a few things, it matters.
It changes everything. Or once you have that parent that won't shut up, that also changes a lot of things too.
Makes everything suck a little more.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, sir or madam.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get everyone on the floor. My bad.
Yeah. They're 12, you know.
Yeah. And sometimes it's like they're 8.
Yeah.
They don't know which direction they're going. I apologize.
No. We have the small basketball hoop attachments on the regular basketball hoop right now. They can't even shoot on a regular rim.
I know. Man, that's not what I was going to say. I kind of like that Hardy is keeping Key on the bench here a little bit. Mills is getting extended run. As much as I love Key, and everyone knows I'm a big Key fan, he's got to learn to take his lumps a little better.
I think a smaller leash would help with that. Not a Dante Exum leash, of course, because I think that's just prohibitive. But because sometimes I think he gets away with it without, he doesn't run back on defense and he gets away with it.
And I think this is a good sign that the Jazz are just like, not this year.
Yeah.
At least right now. Yeah, he's got to improve the attitude for sure.
The Mills minutes haven't been as bad as we thought. I think 31-35 is a pretty fortunate spot to be, all things considered. Luka struggling, well, I think is 90% of that. But either way, it means we're doing something. I think I like to see more of Taylor Hendricks on Luka and see it. I think that's a big test for him. He did a good job against in game 1. I think he played pretty well as a primary defender. But he's gonna that's gonna be a big thing for him this season. That's one of my favorite things to watch for every game, is just to see how he takes on the point of attack defending.
Totally agree. Honestly, if I had to, Jazz are only down 4, by the way. They're playing pretty decently. Taylor Hendricks tonight. Can we find a way to get him a little more involved is my question. Let's see. -7. Let's see. He has 2 shots is all. I'd love to see that go up a tiny bit. Markkanen's just 2 for 10, and the Jazz are only down 4. I guess that's a pretty good sign. 2 assists from Hendricks is nice to see. I've noticed his passing has been pretty nice to see. That ball does move when he's on the floor.
Yeah. I wonder if part of him not being active on offense is him being the main assignment on defense, and if he just kind of takes a break on offense. Yeah, I don't know if that's a great excuse, because you kind of hope that he can do both if that's his role in the NBA.
Yeah, see, that's what, and maybe that's the development, is how do you learn to do both? Because honestly, that's what Utah needs. And to honestly be a good NBA defense, you need 5 guys on the floor that can do both. They can defend.
Yeah.
You look at the Celtics, like all 5 positions, they're defending and scoring at a high level, or at least in their role at a high level.
Yeah.
I know, and it hurt my feelings.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that was the most viewed one. It was a great play. Don't get me wrong, but like, of course it'd be against us.
And it was like that one, and then the
Collins was also.
Yeah.
Why did both have to be up against us? I don't know.
I got no idea. And then there's also that one time that Kessler got yammed on back-to-back against Portland. That was so... I was at that game, and I could not stop laughing. I think that was one of the funniest things I've seen live at a basketball game before.
And that one legitimately hurt his feelings. He did not like it.
Yeah.
Why is... people enjoy watching us. All right, Key's back. Come on, Key. Let's turn around here. S69. I like to see Doncic struggling. I don't mind it. Helps the agenda. Dang it.
It's not the best check-in, but I like the idea. I thought it was a good idea.
That is the slogan of the Utah Jazz season. I like the idea.
Yeah. It's kind of the only thing you can say, really. I mean,
I tell you what, that's what I want to see this year too, is I just want to see something from Cody Williams and Taylor Hendricks every night that makes me go, this guy is going to be something. Cody's just a rookie.
Yeah.
See, I like this right here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Right.
Jeez. Yeah. Lowry gets out of the game,
and things like this happen. Yeah, Lowry tends to have the highest plus minus, and that's where plus minus I think does tell a story.
Yeah, it does.
Who is
that one doesn't lie.
Ben Anderson put out a tweet. What did he say? Talking about Cody Williams finishing. So here we
That's
go.
good work.
And so I'm kind of curious to watch Cody Williams. That wasn't a good example, but it does seem like he has got some really good finishing ability. Oh, there we go. I tell you what. Go ahead.
In college, he was just a fantastic finisher, though. He was very creative at the basket.
Well, and he shot like a high level from 3 2. I tell you what, it's only game 3, so it's not really something to worry too much about. But I think we're going to have a stretch later in the year where we see Cody Williams do some fun things.
Yeah.
Man, he just can't hit this.
He's just struggling.
There we go.
There you go.
But, yeah, this team is struggling to shoot the ball. As a team right now, Utah's shooting from 3, 18%.
That's impressive.
Well,
that's like my intramural rec league. That's what that looks like.
As a team, though, Dallas is shooting 20, so I guess that's why Utah's still in this.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't know if we can keep the number of Shackton Fools under 5 for the year, but we already got one last game where Key hung on the rim. That's already a Shackton nominee.
Yeah, DraftKings has got to get an over-under on that one. That is...
See, that's one where Key's got to pass that out. It's just tough. That is such a hard shot. And I know you can do that in AAU, but not...
I think he's trying to see the ball go in once, and I honestly, Sexton's actually playing pretty great right now. And I think that he might find a shot off of just waiting for Sexton to break down the defense a little bit and less off the dribble.
You're right. Sexton is 4 for 6, 2 for 3 from. He's having a nice night.
Yeah.
Nice rebound from Kessler. 5 boards for Kessler. That's good. He's on pace for double-double.
Yep.
I like the idea.
It's great. Fantastic on paper, but not in practice.
It looked good.
Yeah, it looks good. I don't think it's a great shot to actually, I don't think the numbers will love that shot, but I like that he took something.
I tell you what, though, if Hendricks, that's the thing, is this season is about development, too. And I like Taylor Hendricks having the guts to take the shot. I like him trying it. I
agree. You can tell sometimes when he's, after it's been like 6 minutes of him standing in the corner, when he's just like, all right, I'm just going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care what happens. I'm just going to go. And I actually like that because we watched every possession that happened with Sexton and Clarkson. So, I don't mind Hendricks doing that once in a while.
See, this is where a half-court offense where the ball is moving, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going in, but I like that the offense is actually moving. Nice
there you
job,
go.
Cody.
He's slender. I didn't realize that he was as slender as he was. I know he added a little bit of weight this offseason, but he's skinny.
He is so thin. He really is. And I don't know if he's ever going to be bulky. If he can just get stronger. Like Tayshaun Prince. I don't know if you remember Tayshaun Prince. He was never.
Oh, yeah.
But he was strong, and he was super long.
I think Tayshaun Prince is leading the Bucks in minutes for the season so far.
Oh, no, not Tayshaun Prince. What am I thinking? The one that was on the 2004.
Oh, Tayshaun Prince. That's Torian Prince. I think I'm Torian. Yeah, Tayshaun Prince. Yeah.
You're right. Oh,
Tayshaun Prince. Yeah. I'm messing it up.
Oh, you're good. But that's who I'm kind of like, because Tayshaun Prince was like a really nice contributor. And as long as you're just strong, I like this from Hendricks, though. I like this aggression.
Yeah.
Like all that Cody Williams he's got to get that tendon strength. I don't know if he's ever going to be like in a bodybuilding competition, but as long as he's strong, it doesn't really matter. And that's another thing that's a little overrated to me sometimes when people say, oh, so-and-so's got to get 30 pounds of muscle. I do think, okay, here's my personal, and I think Michael mentioned it in our chat, but I also kind of would love Taylor Hendricks to be our center of the future.
Yeah.
That's what I would love. I don't know if he can, but my gosh, he becomes a cheat code if he's hitting threes and playing at the center position and can hold up.
Yeah.
But he looks bigger to me, though. You look at him right there. He's still skinny, but he does look like.
He looks pretty great. I think that the only issue, I think him at center would be fantastic. But the only caveat I have is that his superpower right now on defense is weak side rim protection as a secondary shot blocker. He's surprisingly good at that. He was good at that during his rookie year of just kind of rotating over from the corner and getting a weak side block. And I kind of love that for him. It's kind of a Jonathan Isaac role, even though Jonathan Isaac offensively sucks so bad that you really can't even play him. You just hope that doesn't happen with Hendricks.
Yeah, and the thing about Isaac, he's so honestly, such a game changer defensively. Hendricks, I do like him being able to roam like that, and I just want the Jazz filled with a lot of different Taylor Hendricks body types. The 6'9" to 7 foot, whatever you are, long, super athletic, and that's why Taylor Hendricks, he's raved about him. Like they just were like, that's my favorite guy. Like out of all the Jazz guys, Key's fun because Key has a lot of offensive potential, but Hendricks really is the guy. And when I look at him, I really do feel like he is. No matter who you draft, Hendricks can fit on the floor.
Yeah.
Arguably, I mean, Lowry's going to always have a spot because he's such an elite 3-point shooter on catch and shoots. But there are a few, like, he is not an elite defender. He's actually a surprisingly good rebounder, so I think Lowry is fine defensively. But he's not like the thing about Hendricks is he could be an absolute game changer defensively.
He could, yeah. I mean, and also Robert Williams is 6'9". He's not tall, and he's made a career out of being center, so you don't necessarily need somebody who's 7 feet there either.
Yeah, that's why, and this is all my wishful thinking. That I look at like what's the guy on the Heat? Bam Adebayo. He's 6'9". I mean, the thing that's so cool about Hendricks is he can literally guard 1 through 5, so it makes him super intriguing. And it might be wishful thinking. I'm trying to think like, well, how do I fit all these guys on the floor? If you get Cooper Flagg, there is a world where it's like Cooper Flagg, Lowry Markin, and Taylor Hendricks as your kind of front court.
Mm-hmm. That was wonderful, deep. I know Luka made that shot, but that was wonderful.
That was good. You're right, RNF. Durant, also good example of someone who's not very thick, but it doesn't matter. Come on. Nice key. Nice job.
Just don't force it.
Okay. There we go. See, those are the flashes.
Yeah.
And Taylor Hendricks was there too. Okay, that gives my little heart a little bit of pride.
And it's under 10. You keep it like this. It's a perfect recipe for a losing season. If we can kind of lose every game by 10 points or less,
literally everyone too.
If that would just be that's because you don't bore yourself watching the game, but you still lose them.
Mm-hmm. This has been a nice kind of Taylor Hendricks key little segment. Let's see if they can keep it going though. Luka Doncic really is phenomenal. He is the perfect NBA prototype for what you want leading your offense, at least.
He just does not get sped up. Nothing you do.
He does also he can just bully you. He can get a shot if he wants it. He makes the right play. Oh. I like the idea. Oh, there we go. He steals it back.
Nice.
This is another spot where Markkanen struggles a little. His handle is not.
No. Part of its physics of dribbling the ball from 7 feet, is a little bit tough, but yeah.
Right. We always need to appreciate Kevin Durant a little more.
I know.
Underappreciated. This is a mouse in the house. Look at that. That's just very good basketball.
Yeah. And it's the same thing that with the Nuggets when they give the ball to Jokic, what's going to happen. You can't stop it. You put Doncic in that little high post, and the ball's going to somehow get to the corner or to a lob, but you just don't know when or how.
Whoa, Hendricks! Go! Ooh. That was there's a little data point for my little center rim protection. Taylor Hendricks.
That's exactly what you were looking for.
Right there. Okay, we saw a flash of it. That was a little flash.
Yeah.
And see, this is where Markkanen's so freaking great. He is so good in transition. If the Jazz run, they get him. He's so. I guess I could spend some time looking at it, but I swear he's top of the league in terms of just scoring efficiency and transition. He's awesome.
Because if he doesn't dunk it on you, he'll at least get to the line.
And he does get to the line at a high rate. He really does. It's actually pretty high level. In fact, I'm going to look that up. I wonder. Utah's played decently this game. I mean, they're still doing the rookie mistakes, but they've had some nice little moments tonight.
Let's see what percentage is Dallas shooting right now. That also might be a part of the story. They miss a lot of open shots. But
they have been missing a lot of threes. They're shooting 15% from three. So
yeah, a little bit of variance there, but
yeah,
they done good stuff.
But you know what? You got to give a little credit to Utah's defense a little bit. I don't know if it's luck or defense, but
I think both.
That hurt my feelings that he just said that, but that's okay. All right, let's see. Okay, I want to look at what was I looking for? I was looking at. What were we talking about with marketing?
Oh, his transition scoring.
Oh, was it that? Yeah, maybe it was. Or free throw rate. That's right.
Oh, free throw rate. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Ouch.
Clay, I have to say, Clay has the most statuesque face. It's like always the same. You could just, what he would look like as a statue. Speaking of statues, that Dwayne Wade's,
It was so funny. I could not believe that.
it's
That was hilarious. I mean, who signed off on that? Who saw that? Because there had to be like a level of people who are like, yeah, let's put that out there.
Oh, it's really bad. Actually, let's go basketball. It's honestly terrible. And apparently Dwayne Wade signed off of it on it. But you know what? It's just another reminder that like players don't always make good commentators or statue selectors, even if it's their own face.
Yeah.
I wonder if he just kind of could say like, this doesn't look quite right, and he just was being nice. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't. But honestly, I think it gives me a reason to, if I ever go to Miami, to actually look at that statue. Because otherwise, I'd never go and look at it. It'd just be like any Dwayne Wade stat. I don't really care. But now I kind of, if I'm ever in the area, I would want to see it.
Oh, it's pretty great. All right, let's see. Field goal. Are we at halftime? Dallas down just 6. Let's see. Free throw attempts. Okay, here we go. In the league. Okay, I was telling everyone before you were able to come on, I ate these hot dog flavored chips from 7-Eleven. I don't know why I did that.
Hot dog? Do you say hot dog flavored chips?
Yeah. Not a good choice.
I don't know why I did that either. Yeah.
Very poor. And they might not have been the freshest because they were on the counter. I don't know. Poor choice.
Were they good? Were they like?
They were actually. They were unique. I was thinking about it as I was driving home. I was like, you know what? There is a difference between novelty and specialty, and you don't want to go novelty. Specialty.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Guess what? Lauri Markkanen is the number 13 guy at going to the line this year. Pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty
good. Number one, Anthony Davis. Number 2, Giannis. Number 3, Trae Young. Trae Young is one of the players I find the most annoying.
Yeah. It's annoying because he's also good.
He's also very good, and they look better now that that he kind of is the offensive hub again.
Yeah.
So I guess that's.
What do you think about the Lakers, though? The Lakers
are good. Actually, guess what? Here, and I'm pro trading because I just want to be bad. I don't think the Jazz are going to be good for 3 or 4 years. I just
probably not.
See it. And I just don't think anything matters all that much until you have that guy. I just don't.
Yeah.
Like Dallas isn't anything until they got Luka Doncic. They just were bad for a long time, and once Dirk kind of was out of his prime, it was like, man, it took 1 year and they got him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think the Lakers 100% are interested. They keep writing about it. Their reporters keep talking about it. And I think the best thing for us is that they kind of, seems like JJ Redick's a good coach. And so they might be like, hey, you know what? It's worth it giving Utah 2 firsts for Walker Kessler and I guess I kind of agree with this because you know what? We were so awesome with Karl Malone and John Stockton, and we haven't really been even that. I mean, I guess with Darren Williams, we got a little close.
A little close, yeah.
But you do have to take advantage of those windows. And I know LA's different, but we haven't been to the finals since. And so the biggest mistake back then was that the freaking Millers they were just kind of fine with Adam Keefe starting in that starting lineup every year. And it's like, okay, well, he can't do anything. He's a volleyball player. So, that's painful. But, You got to take advantage of your windows when you have them. And so long story short, I think they might pay up. I think they might say, hey, here's a 2029 first post LeBron. That 27 first looks pretty good. Now, if JJ Redick's really great, maybe that pick got worse. That kind of sucks, but I would take picks for Kessler. I guess just because we have so many picks, and if I bet you, like honestly, there's going to be a center available with one of our Wolves or Cavs picks this draft. You know, I don't know if it's really
probably.
And I tell you what, the one guy that's like that Malawatch for Duke is he's so raw, but my gosh, the physical tools are kind of unbelievable.
He's massive. He's 7'2".
He's like super athletic. He has shown signs he can shoot the ball. He's like, I don't know. It kind of makes me think of. I don't think he'll be as good as Embiid, but he kind of reminds me of Embiid, where he just kind of seems to just get better and better and better and better.
Yeah,
at a rapid rate. So
Walker hasn't tried shooting the ball yet. That was kind of a thing he played with last year. He hasn't pulled up from the corner yet.
Yeah, I was talking to Andy Larson on my podcast. I can't remember if it was on the air or off, but I mean, I think part of the issue last year was he wanted to be this like 3-point shooter, and the Jazz, and that's one thing that Andy told me that was interesting, is he wanted to be this like stretch big, and I think it probably stemmed from like the Steve Kerr experience and stuff,
right?
And not being able to play, and I just don't know if he can. And the Jazz were just like, we just want you to be good at rolling to the basket, blocking shots, rebounding, setting screens, like doing those things really well. And I think there was
I hate to interrupt you, but I cannot believe did you just see what that guy was doing?
Shooting him up in the air with his mouth.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
That is actually pretty dynamic. Hyder, you know what? I just hope he's not in the room alone with my wife, all right? Because he's more impressive than me.
Yeah, he's got game, that's for sure.
But anyways, I think there was a rift between what like Lauri Markkanen thinks he is and what the Jazz thinks he is. That's why I do think there is maybe a little bit of, and it kind of feels like maybe Lauri just feels content being that this year. I don't know. He's definitely played better this season, at least.
Yeah.
Where's Lauri at right now? And that's just for this game.
I think that he'll start shooting the threes again sometime soon. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody in his personal camp and his agent and everybody are like, hey, you gotta get a few of those threes up, you know. Look at Brook Lopez, you know, you got to look at how long he's lasted in the league just because he can shoot the ball. You eventually don't have to do it. But so just off that, I think that you probably will.
I wouldn't mind it. If it makes us lose games, I'm all for it. This guy is amazing.
Yeah, he's impressive.
I've never seen anything like this.
No. How do you come up with that, too? I mean, that's...
I love the confidence with the open shirt.
It's a great shirt too. You ever been to Dallas?
Have I ever been to Dallas? No.
Neither have I.
I've driven through. Well, have I driven through Texas? Because my wife's family used to live in North Carolina. We lived there for like a little bit. Well, actually, I lived there for a year and a half. But we would drive through that southern freeway. So I might have driven through, but I know we've driven through Kentucky and Missouri and stuff. But yeah, you know what? It's been for the Jazz to be in this and have Markkanen shooting 2 for 10. He is 2 for 9. Colin Sexton really has been the best, most efficient player, and Walker Kessler has had a pretty decent game, actually.
Yes, yeah.
that's one thing about Kessler is like I think those agents really do affect things more than people think. There's two things that I think affect the game more than people realize. One is agents. They absolutely
Mm-hmm.
do. Because I
Yep.
do think the agents talk to him and be like, hey, if you can shoot the three, then you're going to get paid, and
Yep.
obviously they want to get paid. The other thing is owners make a bigger impact than people realize. They make a lot of choices. No
Yeah.
trades happen unless because owners have to pass off on the trades, and both owners have to. And I think people don't realize that there's a lot of trades that go to owners, and then the owners turn them down.
Right.
That happens more than people think. But then there's a lot of times where I think owners say, "Hey, I want you to go do this," uh, and they make it happen. I think the famous one is like Houston when they traded Chris Paul. That was like 100% the owner saying, "We're going to do this to make
Right.
Mark happy." That was, but yeah. So
Yeah,
I would.
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, we saw. I think agents play probably a role in some of Utah's last decade, pretty much of.
Oh, absolutely.
So we've seen a lot of that happen here.
100%, and it didn't help that the agents like got hired and are in the New York Knicks front office. So
Yeah,
not
it's funny
great.
how that happens. Yeah,
Yeah, that anyone who tells me that they did not have an inside play there is not true.
yeah. Can you imagine though if we had RJ? And I think RJ's actually played pretty well right now. He's looked pretty good, but rather than Lowry, I feel like that really would be quite a different looking rebuild for us.
With who? Oh, with
RJ Barrett.
oh yeah. I think we would have lost more games.
I think so. Yeah. Maybe we would be in the running for somebody else.
Yeah, I think that we definitely would have. So it's kind of interesting to look back. And RJ Barrett, what is RJ Barrett doing right now? He's on Toronto. Toronto is one of those teams also. If I'm a Toronto fan, I'm probably a little depressed. But let's see. Actually, Toronto is beating the Nuggets right as we speak.
Mm-hmm. I think RJ's started off the game pretty hot too.
You know what? You might be right. Maybe RJ's taken a leap this year because I liked him in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's that prototype. He's like a big wing that can shoot and handle, and it's interesting how things change once they start playing. But
he averaged 22 in the 32 games he played for Toronto last season.
That's the thing is, it's like sometimes it's just perception. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Denver's down to Toronto.
Denver hasn't looked very good. Their bench has looked bad.
And
through 3 games.
Denver has a problem because Murray has not been the same. I don't know if he's got some sort of chronic injury, but Murray's 4 for 13. RJ
Murray's
Barrett
got a chronic injury for regular season, and he just does not like regular season. He only plays well in the postseason.
bad series. I mean, that was part of why Minnesota beat him. Is Murray just? I don't know if he got wore down or if he got injured, but he was bad against Minnesota. Like Jokic is unbelievable. Jokic is always incredible. Like in this one, Jokic is shooting 61% from the field, 10 rebounds, 25 points, only 3 assists. Come on, Jokic, you're loafing. No, I'm just kidding. But he's incredible. He really is. But yeah, Murray's shooting 4 for 15. That team's in trouble. The bench is bad.
And they're expensive. They are so expensive. They just gave what's his name?
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook, but no, the 4 from Orlando, played in Orlando.
Oh, Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon. They gave him a contract extension. Very expensive now.
That's a team that's going to struggle. I mean, they're still going to be good. I mean, to beat the Nuggets in the playoffs, you got to beat Jokic 4 times. That's tough to do.
That's tough.
RJ Barrett, 7 for 15 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. That's really solid. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He's a solid NBA starter. He is a
He
solid
is.
NBA. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
69. Yeah. Is Olenek still at Toronto? I think he is. I believe he is. He signed an
Yeah, they
extension
gave
this
him a
offseason.
contract.
Mhm.
In fact, they gave guys contracts that maybe they shouldn't have, but let's see. Well,
Kelly was a fun watch. I know that we won a bunch of games probably because of people like Kelly that one season, but I really enjoyed watching him that first half of the season just trip and fall his way into layups over and over and over again. That was just such a great watch.
he's a honestly a very good offensive player. Just really
Yeah.
good. 2-year, $26 million contract they gave him. Whew. Oh, he was playing really well. Fontecchio in Detroit. He nearly beat Boston. He was really good. I was like,
I
I'm so proud of our Fontecchio.
he played great in that post trade deadline stretch too.
He did. He's really, I mean, he's a very good NBA player. Uh, that's the thing. This is so frustrating about Ochai Agbaji is he has it in him to have these games. Tonight he's what, 2 for 5 from 3, 6 for
Mhm.
10, and then he'll disappear for like 2 games.
Yeah.
14 points, 3 rebounds. I mean, come on, pretty good.
And for his sake, I hope he finds it. Because I really do wish I think he has the tools to be a KCP type player for on a good team for a long time, but we'll see.
Yeah, I actually don't mind just looking at these Toronto stats. Like Grady Dick, he was the player that some like a lot of the guys that are big like analytics. He's turning into a nice player. I don't know if
Yeah,
he's got a little bit of a ceiling with. I don't know if he's ever going to be like a high level defender, but he can shoot for sure. That is for sure.
he didn't look too great his last year, but the jump has been pretty good.
Well, his last 2 months were honestly pretty solid, and then this
Yeah.
season, I mean, what is he? I'm curious. Grady Dick. I just didn't want the jokes. I didn't want the jokes. That's like 100% it. Like, let's see. What is he for the season this year? He's shooting 36% from 3. Last year he shot 36. I mean, that's league average. That's
Pretty
solid.
good. Yeah.
Ah, God, Clay starts off.
Yeah, he's gonna hit it some eventually.
Utah's got to be careful because this could get out of hand if they. This is one thing I've noticed the Jazz are doing. They're really trying to push Markkanen into the post free throw
Yeah.
line area to see what they can do. I think there's almost some development. Yeah, that's a nice shot.
There you go.
But I think there is an element of the Jazz trying to develop Markkanen a little bit. Like
I think so.
Let's see what you can do in this situation. Let's see if we can turn you into an ISO scorer. And I don't mind it. I
don't mind it either. You're paying him all the money in the world for it, so you might as well.
Yeah, do the things that max players do.
Yeah. He is though. It's impressive how he can shoot so terribly from the field sometimes and still somehow end up with 25.
Yeah, well, part of it is he does get to the line. He's number 13 in the league in free throws.
Yeah.
He does get to the line. And he does. I think one of the things about Markkanen that people don't realize is he plays really tough. I really like that he plays with toughness. He doesn't back down from people. He plays through contact. I like it. I really like it.
And he does the little things more than I think people expect because he really does get in there, try to get rebounds. He really does get in there and kind of get his hands dirty more than he gets credit for.
He has some pretty. I was looking at cleaning the glass last year. He has pretty good rim protection numbers too. He's not like off the charts, but he's like 70th percentile or something. So he's like a solid rim protection. So I think the idea that he can't be. I think he's an average at worst defender, and I think he can have times where he's pretty decent.
Yeah. There's a couple bad misses for Hendricks there. Barely hit the rim twice.
Come on. Yeah, dang it. He's at 0 for 5 for this game. See, this is good offense. That's solid. For key, what is that?
And that's where Sexton's efficiency sometimes is actually impactful.
It's a weapon. It's very good.
Yeah.
Because he can kind of take advantage of like them focusing on Markkanen, and it does seem like they do focus on key.
Mm-hmm. But then there's the flip side of that right there, where
you saw
they're finally hitting shots.
Well, and that was a Sexton closeout. It did not affect the shot.
No.
So it's like Sexton give it, Sexton take it. But
yeah,
that's where Utah's going to lose a lot of games this year. Defensively, they're just maybe. I don't know. Our crowd stuff is not quite as good as some of these others.
It's worse than I think most.
I actually think it kind of is. Although, is this really much better than us? I don't know.
I don't think so either. But, when you watch games on League Pass and you see sometimes the shenanigans they pull in other arenas, and like Sacramento and in Portland, and they do a really good job of being creative. We kind of struggle. We kind of just end up rotating through a new arena speaker every year who just yells louder than the last one.
Well, I do hate the guy they got now. He wants to be like on The Bachelor, I think. I don't know, but he just I really don't care for him because he like
yeah, neither do I.
He guilt trips you into yelling, and you're like, I don't want to yell. Sorry. You love the Jazz. Are you a good person? Then you got to cheer for the Jazz. And no,
we're down 30.
Do better.
Yeah.
To cheer for. Let's cheer for like a freeze. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is not better than Utah, I'd say.
No, this isn't much better.
And we have like we're playing it on hard mode because we are kind of the team that are the butt of a lot of jokes. But
we are. Yeah, it's okay. And half the arena is people under 17, so it's like, I understand part of it is that too, but
I agree. That reminds me of a time I was at a Jazz game and there were this lady. They panned the camera just in time before she like turned the show a little rated R, basically. They were quick with their camera work.
Yeah, they got that unlocked. I think if there's anything they know how to do, it's how to do that one.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the Jazz could do better for sure, but they're not there yet.
No. And also, it's easier when you actually have entertaining games. And, nobody really cared about the in-arena entertainment while we were winning 50 games a season.
But when you're losing, you got to be better. Like RNF, you're right. The Jazz game ops are definitely mid, as they say.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Dang it. I like Sexton's attitude. Good attitude.
I do. Yeah.
Well, look, he trips on that lead there, and then he tries to get this.
Yeah.
That's not a bad turnover. Not all turnovers are created equal. That's not a bad one.
No. It's a good rebound, too, by Walker.
Yeah, Kessler's got – what does Kessler have this game? He's got 10 rebounds.
Double-double. Incoming.
There we go. And see, I tell you what, I love that Kessler's setting that screen. There we go, Kessler. See, that's what.
Nice.
Last season, it felt like it was like fighting nails to get Kessler to come out and set the screen. Now he's like moving. The effort is there. Look at that.
Beautiful.
That was. I don't mind that. That was a good possession.
No.
I wish Taylor would have blocked that, but.
Yeah, I think that his 20 pounds or whatever he gained in the offseason helps out with it. I wonder when he first came in as a rookie, a lot of the discussion was about that he just wasn't strong enough, and I was kind of surprised because he was like 250 or something like that, or 230. So I wonder if he's just kind of lost a little bit of fat and gained a little bit of muscle.
Yeah, honestly, just some strength training. It takes them. It honestly takes 2-3 years, I think, for the rookies to get to the strength level they need to be at.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah. What did Dallas give up for PJ Washington last deadline? Was it a future first?
It was the future first for sure. Look at that. I feel like the Jazz are at least playing a little more controlled this half.
Mm-hmm.
And this game in general. Last game was pretty atrocious. There, he finally got a call. Let's see. So Mavericks trade for PJ Washington.
Grant Williams, Seth Curry, 27 first. That was top 2 protected.
So it took 2 rotation players and a first round pick. They might overturn that because he got the ball.
Yeah. But they lost their challenge already on that.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because it was Kyrie fouled Hendricks in the first half, and they lost the challenge on that.
Oh. Wizards look like they're about to beat the Hawks? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
There we go. I tell you what, one thing is I am connected to Key's family, and it changes your... You're not going to be like, this guy stinks! Like, you're...
Yeah. Yeah, that...
And I don't actually believe that. I think he has a potential to be a really, like, special scorer if he hits his ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
But he does have to develop just like everyone else.
I think so, too. I think he could... I think at worst... he'll get better. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. At worst, I think he really does turn into something that Clarkson is, which isn't bad. I mean, you don't.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's an interesting player because he's kind of unique. I do kind of like the Anthony Simons comp because that's kind of the type, a scoring point guard basically. Scoring guard.
Yeah.
There you go, Mark.
I also think I have always held the opinion. I know that there's the jury's still out on this one too, but I kind of have always believed that you can't really teach somebody who's not a point guard how to play point guard.
Yeah.
That's kind of my argument with when Mitchell was on the team, was that like if somebody's not like a natural point guard, they'll struggle to find it. Unless your name is like Devin Booker, who kind of figured it out, or like, somebody at that level. So I think that he would probably just benefit from us having somebody who's actually a good lead ball handler and him playing off that rather than having to lead it. I
honestly think I'm okay with him being kind of a scorer first. I do think there is a element of just guys like DNA. Like, if like he can like, because there's players that just find joy in passing the ball. Like Jokic enjoys passing more than he does shooting, I think, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think he gets more joy out of an assist than a bucket, Yeah. And I think guys like he are more like, that's their game their whole life has been scoring. And that's all they've ever worked on their whole life. But I actually think he actually fits the prototype. I think he's going to be on the team for another 8 years. But he's going to be playing off of, and please, God, but like Ace Bailey or Cooper Flagg,
Yeah.
Playing off of that guy,
Yeah.
Where like they get the attention and then hopefully he develops into an efficient shooter scorer that gets like the secondary defense, that.
Oh, is Hendricks hurt? Oh no.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no, is it bad? Bad?
Oh no.
That looks like it's serious. Oh
Yeah.
no, not with people like crying. Did he break his leg?
Oh no. I didn't catch a look.
Oh no. Oh, and Taylor Hendricks just broke his foot off his leg, is what Michael's saying. Holy.
Oh cow. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I don't
Yeah,
even know if
it
I want
looks
to
like it.
watch it. I didn't see it.
No. No, Andy's saying that he looks like he broke his leg.
I was gonna say, is that like a? Oh shoot! No way! No!
That's about as the worst case scenario as you could get. That's so terrible.
Oh my gosh! Well, we're gonna. I haven't even seen it. Did you guys saw it? I didn't even.
I saw him limping. I didn't see how that happened.
Ah, God, dude. No, that sucks, dude. That is. The first thing is just like that he has to go through that now. That has got to be just
It's
the
terrible.
pain of that has got to be horrible.
Oh,
Man, that just brutal. That sucks.
that's just terrible.
Ah, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see it just because that's
I don't even know if
that's
there's video
terrible.
of it. I didn't even see it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bench the bench also looked like they were.
I mean, everyone looked sick. Like they're like, oh my
Yeah,
God. And the way he was sitting, where he had his head in his hands, you could tell it was bad.
yeah. I don't even know how it because he wasn't involved in like a at least it didn't seem like he was involved in like a yeah a tight play where he was going up for a ball or something. It seemed like he was just kind of on the side. So I just
Oh man. That just doesn't happen very often. And when it does, it's terrible.
no. Seemed like he slipped maybe.
You know, sometimes that just happens. Yeah, I mean, you just think about how painful that has to be. It's just like, just the immediate, just like, oh my gosh, I can't
I
believe.
know. I've never, yeah, think knock on wood, I've never experienced anything like that. So I just couldn't even imagine what that would
I tell you
feel
what, like,
like.
oh, it's gotta. I tell you what, I don't know if you've ever. So have you ever broken a bone?
Never broken a bone.
It freaking hurts. And I broke my collarbone wrestling, and that's not as painful as what he just went through. And I tell you what, it's the weirdest. Like your body goes through this shock when you feel that bone There is no
Mhm.
feeling in the world like it. It is undescribable. But when you feel it, it gives you this like, it's like this animal instinct of like, oh no, I'm gonna like, it's terrible. Like
Yeah.
it, honestly, and it hurts so bad.
Ugh, I could only imagine.
And so for him to break his leg like that, oh, that's got to be so bad. And you know, it's like it feels wrong to even mention it, but just I mean, it just stinks because he was gonna have his year to just kind of develop. So
Yeah.
that element just sucks too, because I'm sure he's
Yeah.
super disappointed right now. It just sucks.
Yeah, because it's obviously less important than him getting healthy and recovering, but it's just terrible that he misses out also on all that time, and rather than him focusing on just getting reps in the game and getting.
It's like he's crying on the sideline about it. God, man, that sucks. The whole team is just in shock, you know.
That's terrible.
I mean, that's
Looks like Filipowski is getting his number called now, though. That's that'll be big time for him to get opportunities.
yeah. I mean, it's an opportunity, man. That just sucks, man. And we got to
It's
see that.
terrible.
We saw that rim protection play where he's blocking shots, and he was gonna get a chance. God, man, that is just he's gonna get that chance to like take those threes, and he'll
And he's
be
looked good.
okay.
He's looked good. Yeah.
He'll come back, and luckily we have great medical advances or whatever. But it's just, man, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a long road. You can
Yeah.
just know. Man,
He'll get back with it, but that's
but that's gonna be at least a year.
at least at
Man,
least. I mean, you hope it's just that too, because I mean Hayward kind of went through pretty much 2 years of um, rehab physically, and then rehab is kind of getting back into basketball too. So it's just a lot of time.
yeah, it's just, man. Ah,
That was the last thing you wanted to see.
I haven't even seen it, and I don't even know if I want to.
No,
Honestly, I don't think I do want to.
no. I'm sure that doctor on YouTube, Brian Suter or whatever his name is, will have a video on it and his thoughts, because he always covers injuries like that,
Oh, and
kind
that's,
of explaining what that
yeah, I'm
means.
sure it's bad. I mean, man, and there's a world where it's like he doesn't come back from that. I think he will. I
Yeah,
hope he will.
I hope he will.
But man,
You just don't see that. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. Well, guys, I'm sorry. That's a bummer. What a bummer. Doggone it, dude. That is really rough.
And now they have to finish the game. I mean, not that I've ever been in a game like a high school basketball game where somebody broke their leg or
Their leg,
anything,
or
but
yeah,
but when somebody your teammate gets injured during a game, and sometimes hard to see.
yeah. It doesn't feel quite the same. I mean, I'm sure they get in the motion of it, and almost like playing the game helps you get through it a little bit because it's like, did you see it?
I just saw it. Oh,
It's bad.
I don't know if it's worth. I don't know if it's worth watching if you have a queasy stomach. That was one of the worst, I think, basketball injuries I've seen.
Really that bad?
That looked pretty nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
Jeez.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. He just kind of stepped and it went.
It just did his leg just break in half basically, or
Yeah, pretty much like right by his knee. It just kind of snapped
jeez.
and folded in over himself. That was
Man. What a bummer, man.
what a bummer.
Yeah, and you know the funny thing is like he was actually making an impact, so this team just got a little worse.
Yeah, yeah, he
And I think
was.
Filipowski's going to be interesting, but he doesn't provide the defense that Hendricks did.
No, he doesn't.
Man, what a bummer, man. That is.
Yeah, that's tough.
It almost feels like
They're
both
they're doing
teams
a
are.
good job. Yeah, they're
They're
holding
holding
it
down
together.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it seems like both teams are in a shock a little bit. Like the Mavericks seem just as distraught as the Jazz did. Like this was
yeah,
terrible.
yeah. They're doing a good job staying composed. Collins is interesting because he's sneaky good sometimes, and then he's just outright bad other times.
Yeah. I mean, Collins will make plays. He's not like a bad player. I think if Collins was making 5 to 10 million a year, people would love him,
Yeah,
you know? But it's because of the money. It changes your perception. Yeah, both teams are locking back in a little bit, but man, it
yeah.
just felt like a um
Air kind of sucked out of the stadium there for a second.
mhm.
Filipowski's playing pretty hard.
I tell you what, and I just retweeted a picture of Key kind of crying over it. Like these guys do care. They are trying. I think we forget sometimes these guys are like they're just real people. They're trying to
Yeah,
succeed. Key wants to win. He's when he's making the mistakes, it's because he's trying to win.
right.
Um, man, what a bummer. That is such a like. Uh, I guess we should probably write about it. I'm gonna see if anyone wants to.
Yeah, that was a good pass by Filipowski.
Man, that's just crazy, man. That is. That's crazy. That's going to affect the entire season. That's really
Yeah.
because that was one of the major players to get minutes, and
Yep.
he'll be back, but he might not
He'll be
be
back.
honestly back for like maybe 2 years if it's that
Maybe
bad.
2 years. Yeah.
Because he's going to have to reconstruct his entire leg, you know.
And then get back into playing basketball again, which is,
Tough
it's one
to
thing to
do.
just get back into being physically, but
Mm-hmm.
another to get back into playing. But
Yeah, ES69. I think he's out for at least a year. I mean,
yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. I don't honestly want to see it, but it makes me think of when Paul George broke his leg with it was so awful, and he came back, you know.
Yeah. He'll come back and he'll have opportunity to get back into playing, but it's just unfortunate. Yeah, I wonder if they get back to starting John or if
Oh, I
Cody,
just saw it. Oh man, his leg just like folds under him and it breaks.
Yeah.
Oh man. It's bad, guys. It's really bad. I think it's really bad. Well, it does remind me of Paul George because the leg broke and it took him a year.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be back though. He'll be back. He's got a long road. He'll be back though.
Yeah. Yeah, I just read Andy's tweet about just being like, I just doesn't understand what happened there. Yeah, me neither. I really don't.
I think his leg caught and all his weight went on it in the just worst possible way. Like just such a fluke thing, you know?
Yeah. Completely. Oh.
Wow. JC, going JC.
Houdini again, I guess.
Houdini. By the way, how long does Bowler have left, you think?
Who knows? I think Thurl has did a good job replacing Harpring. But also, I think anybody could have done a good job replacing Harpring.
I just couldn't stand Harpring. You know what's interesting is we have not, and I know she's been covering like the WNBA. We haven't seen Holly at all.
No.
She's been exiled, I guess, but she's been covering like the WNBA finals, so it's probably that. But
yeah, I see her at like covering college football games too, and I'm like, hey, isn't she supposed to be at the Jazz game?
She collected checks or what? Well, she got like promoted. Oh, we got a little words being said tonight. I like it from Filipowski.
Yeah. I was when I was a kid playing basketball, I went to Matt Harpring's basketball training camp.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And conveniently, Matt Harpring himself was not a big part of Matt Harpring's training camp. It was kind of just standing on the side while a bunch of these like kids essentially were coaching us. And I was like, well, what's the whole point of this?
My only Matt Harpring story is when I was living in Salt Lake, I would once in a great while see him at the Vasa that I used to go to. And all he would do is he would come in, do the leg press, and leave. That's all he would That's all he did. He'd sit on the leg press, do some leg press, and leave. I guess that's what he's doing. To each his own.
Yeah, to each his own. That's funny.
That's my only, Matt Harpering story.
Yeah, who knows what he's doing now?
He's probably in Georgia enjoying his millions of dollars.
Probably.
Just,
Poor guy. Poor guy.
He's living better than I am. Like you can see.
Yeah, I can safely assume that he's doing better than me too.
Yeah, I'm sure his house is nicer than mine.
Yeah, I'm sure he does better than 4 recently graduated guys from college in a basement unit with 7-foot high ceilings. I'm sure he does better than that. Because that's my situation.
That's your stitch. Hey, not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm. And I'll be honest. I don't want it to be David Locke. Please don't let David Locke be the replacement for Bowler. I don't think he's particularly good. I used to like. So I've been at the company I'm at for like the last 10 years. Before I got at this company, I got laid off, and I was just while I looked for another job, I was delivering pizzas, and like me and the other people would listen to David Locke while we deliver, and we used to like joke about how we would go an entire delivery, and when you do I don't know if you guys have ever been pizza delivery people, but you usually take 2 to 3 orders a time, and so you go and they're usually in the same area, so you go to the one and then go to the other, and you'd go entire trips without knowing what the score was. Like and we would always come back and be like, yeah, I don't know what the score. I don't know what's going on. I know that Locke prepared some stats, but like, I just don't think I don't know if he's. It's crazy that he has the job he has, and I don't know if he's very good at like painting the picture.
No, or pronouncing Tabo Cephalosha. That one too. I don't know if he can do that either.
Yeah, he'll say some things, and I'm like, do you follow the NBA? I like. I don't know. It's
every time him saying Cephalosa every time or Cephalosha every time just killed me. I couldn't believe that. He probably interviewed the guy before the games too, and he still butchered his name every time.
You just got to find a way to say it at some point. Be like, just call him Tabo. Just call him Tabo. If you can't say his name. No, I'm kind of rooting for Bowler to last forever. So Locke is like too old to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The in-game announcer is going to be a question too. Who's going to take that?
I don't know. That's a good question. But I do find it funny, and I guess we're not listening to the Jazz broadcast, so maybe she's on there tonight. But it is kind of interesting to me that Holly has been kind of just not involved at all.
No.
And they did demote her. I mean, I don't know if demote is the word, but he's more courtside reporter now. And so, I don't know.
She was great during college football games, so.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't want to be that group that shares the video. I don't.
Oh, look at Collins go.
There we go. John Collins having a
heater. Yeah. He's on a heater. I don't know how he does it. Those finishes are just.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all the craziness aside, Kyrie is honestly one of the more fun basketball players there is.
Seriously.
Crazy. Truly just like one of the most skilled guys I've ever seen. You know what I'm noticing a little bit from Key, and maybe this is my bias, he's been like boxing out hard.
Yeah.
I know he missed the shot there, so he kind of has to, but like, watch him box out here. I don't know. Maybe that's it. Never
Call it a
mind.
box out. Call it a box out.
I saw him do it on another play. I was like, oh, there you go. But that looked more incidental.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's a foul.
Collins might be one of the. I don't know how he so consistently drives to the basket and acts. It looks like he gets fouled without getting fouled. Like he doesn't actually get fouled, but he falls down like he got fouled. Like half the time he drives to the basket.
Well, I'd have to say, despite the horrible, I can't believe that happened. It feels like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. But despite that, I do feel like the Jazz have played pretty well.
They
Man,
have. They have.
that's the other thing is it just changes the season in a big way. He was a big part of this season developing. It's just such a man. It just sucks in every
Yeah.
facet. And yeah, now the Jazz actually. I mean, he's a big depth piece. I mean, that means if Markkanen goes down, Utah loses a lot of depth real fast.
Yeah.
I think it is true. Yeah, we're going to see a lot more Filipowski this year, which is going to be interesting.
I was kind of out of everybody. I kind of thought that Filipowski would spend a bunch of time in the G League, but now he's
not now.
No.
JC, I don't know what that pass was, Mr. Clarkson. But yeah, I think you're right. I think one thing that's been a little weird. Well, I don't know if weird's the word, but I haven't really agreed with. I think Filipowski is a center. I don't think he's a power forward, and they keep kind of playing him here and there with power forward, and I don't feel like that's what his future is.
No. I mean, he's pretty much from play style and like defensive position. He kind of is what Kelly Olynyk was.
Yeah, he's kind of that prototype a little bit. The player he kind of makes me think of if he really like pans out is like a Vucevic. It's kind of who he reminds me of a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Let him kind of show what he is.
I can't wait to see Collier get back into playing. I really enjoyed his play during the preseason.
I agree. He's going to be fun to watch. He was, and I honestly think Patty Mills is the only reason he's playing is Collier's out. I think.
Yeah.
Because he was getting those minutes, and that was also a bummer. It's just him getting hurt, but he'll probably be back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Did you watch LeBron's like 16-point straight or whatever it was outburst against whoever it was a couple nights ago?
I didn't. I haven't watched the Lakers. I just get so like. So I got League Pass this year because I do like to root it. It's like I just find myself going towards the ones I want to root against or for. So I've watched like Detroit. I've watched.
Yeah.
I'm watching like these terrible basketball teams. Jeez. Lively's really good.
He's great.
And he just kind of gets it. I just think what a bummer, man. But yeah, I didn't. I haven't watched a lot of Lakers, but they are better. I've seen some highlights. I did watch a little bit of the Lakers the other night at the gym on the TV. No way! He did it! He bounced it off the Mavericks guy and assisted himself. All right.
There you go. That's one way to get a bucket.
That was awesome.
I still have a League Pass from the Jason Tatum Nike whole thing that happened last season where they're giving out League Pass. Yeah.
What was that?
You had to do it. So you did like a survey on Jason Tatum's shoes on Nike, and they gave you a whole year of League Pass Premium for free.
I remember. And was that like mid-season or something you got it? Or?
Yeah. It was during the All-Star break.
I forgot they got Quentin Grimes. That's a nice. He might be really nice for them.
Najee Marshall as well.
Quentin Grimes, the player that held up the Donovan Mitchell trade with the Knicks.
Yeah.
And they had traded him to Dallas, I guess.
I never understood that. I could not believe that you'd not trade for Donovan Mitchell because of Quentin Grimes. That's just
Wild.
boneheaded.
That is wild. It's funny though, it kind of worked out for them in a weird way, but that makes no sense.
Mikal didn't though, apparently.
Yeah, well,
apparently Mikal forgot to shoot.
I know. And has he been playing better? I haven't paid attention to it much. Maybe he's shooting better, but
Neither have I.
so bizarre. It does feel like he changes his shot every season. It's weird. Ooh, we got away with one there. See, look, they're going back to marking it in the post.
Yep.
Ooh, blocking foul.
Yeah.
Did that just boo? That's great.
I don't think I've heard that before from that he just found. I don't think I've heard that from an announcer before.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. I do like this because that is a situation where if you want Markkanen to be that superstar level, he should be able to just score on Spencer Dinwiddie. You know,
Yeah,
this is good. He gets
he
the
should.
foul line. You think of Markkanen is not Durant, but like you look at Durant scoring in that situation. If Markkanen can get to that level, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Or sometimes he could just rise over them. I mean, his shot sets pretty high, and his release point's pretty high. Even over Dinwiddie, who's what 6'5". I mean, you can just shoot over him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I just retweeted from the SLC dunk of Key throwing it off of Kyrie Irving and scoring. Oh.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
That is fun stuff.
Ben Simmons used to do that a bunch.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's funny is Ben Simmons used to be a good player. He still is a good player, but he is so mentally just kind
He's just
of
cooked mentally. Yeah.
He is. He definitely got the yips or whatever you call it. It's trying to see. I want to that was a fun play. I'm gonna retweet it. Well, this has been a fun game despite that awfulness.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe Hendricks. I mean, it is early in the season, so maybe Hendricks can come back by next year, possibly. We'll see.
Hopefully. It's still early in the season, so he's pretty much got all the time in the world.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure the Jazz really like what they see, the potential. It just sucks.
Yeah.
To see that shooting get just really refined.
Yeah.
So it does take away a year of development, and that does suck. That is something that happened with Dante Exum that was so brutal. Is he tore that ACL after his rookie year, and it was it really altered everything.
It feels like that too. I mean, because you just I think that's the last time we had an injury where it just felt so bad about it, where you just wow, that's demoralizing.
Yeah, and it stinks because those players, and Dante's kind of a good example. It just takes a year of development, and those young guys that need to develop it's pretty brutal.
Yep.
Let's hope it's not too big a deal, but
yep.
Nothing about it is good, that's for sure.
Kind of got a close game here.
Yeah, Utah's actually playing really. They're playing an impressive level. I actually think they've been playing solid. They haven't shot it well, but they're playing pretty well.
No.
Good rim protection there for Kessler.
Oh, great. Oh, that's a late whistle. Sexton's got 21.
Sexton does have 21.
Sexton and Kyrie both.
Yeah, and then it makes you wonder, like, does this alter what the Jazz do this year? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so. But it does mean I don't know if it'll make us lose more or win more, because you probably have to play John Collins more.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I actually do think it might make. Ooh, that was a foul.
Wow, and one.
But yeah, what the heck? But anyways, I think it actually does make us a little bit worse, just because I do think the reason we lost so many games last year was defense, and I think if there's
Yeah.
one thing you can count on with Hendricks is he did bring a defensive impact.
He did.
And so now you're probably playing more Filipowski.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more Cody Williams. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not the same. Because then, yeah, Markkanen's probably going to go to the 4 more often a little bit.
Yeah.
Which probably does mean more Williams minutes.
I think they should probably go with Cody Williams at the 3, Markkanen at the 4,
Yeah.
Kessler at the 5.
I bet. I wouldn't even be surprised if Cody Williams starts, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing, is it's going to change the literal starting lineup.
Yeah.
And that's 32 minutes a game, or 25. Well, it came. But it is. It's like 20 to 32 minutes that you got to replace. And I think Markkanen goes to the 4. Probably Cody Williams gets the start.
Yeah.
Which I guess helps.
Maybe you even try Filipowski on the start.
They could. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Filipowski's going to probably get some minutes for sure. It'll be interesting. Maybe they do play Filipowski. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if I love it, but it'd be worth a shot.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I think if it's me, I prefer more Cody Williams minutes.
I agree.
I would prefer that. I like Filipowski. I like the potential of him as like a stretch center.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what it is. He doesn't look quite ready to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Although none of these guys are like completely ready. Like technically Cody Williams isn't ready. But because we're a developing team, he's getting those minutes.
Yeah. He'll have to be more ready now.
Yeah, it is what it is. I do, now that I think about it, I do think we're just going to be a little bit worse.
Yeah.
It's not the same as if like Markkanen was out, but
right.
I think it does overall not help. The thing that would make me mad is if they make some trade to bring in some veteran. I would not like that. I would not.
Yeah.
Like
that. I don't think they will.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they will either. Let's see. So we drafted this year Cody Williams, Filipowski, and Collier. We're missing Collier. He hasn't gotten to play. Yeah, it's probably more Cody Williams minutes.
Probably. Cody Williams probably starts. Filipowski starts taking bench minutes, because I think they kind of have to play Collins as the backup center anyway. So you can't make Collins the starting power forward and then have Philip. I guess if Eubanks comes back, then maybe Eubanks is your backup center. But
that's true. Eubanks is nice to have just for that depth.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of wings, so I guess yeah.
That's where trading for Giannis, I guess, would be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that means they could trade for Giannis.
Yeah. Problem solved. There you go.
Get Giannis, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim McMahon, sources. Jazz forward Taylor Hendricks suffered a fractured right fibula and dislocated ankle. He will return to Utah with the team for further testing tomorrow.
Both a fractured leg and a dislocated ankle.
Really bad.
Wow.
Yo. But you know
Yeah,
what? I
that's-
guess if it's just that and it's not ligament damage, maybe.
Maybe that's okay.
Yeah, like bones can just probably heal better than ligaments, you know.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a doctor, I don't know, but
No. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
yeah, let's hope it's better than worse. It's definitely going to be surgery, and he's definitely going to probably have some metal in his leg.
Yeah.
Ah, bummer. There's good rotations.
Yeah.
Good.
was
That was a
great.
good defensive possession. That was great. There we go.
There we go.
That's good basketball. That was solid. There's been lots of moments like that. This has been a solid
There
game.
has. It's been a mature game. I think the last game was not mature at all. It was just a lot of lollygagging, pretty much.
was a
But this has
mess.
been, yeah, this has been good.
And honestly, after seeing their teammate go down like that, pretty impressive. There's a goaltend.
Yeah. Hanging in there. They're hanging in there.
Now, don't win. That'll make me mad. But I like. Yeah, that was blatant. Yeah, but yeah, this is what you want. You want them to show
This is what
moment,
you want.
show improvement, have some nice. Honestly, too, I'm not that worried about the offense with some of these guys. I think Key will be fine offensively, whatever. It's the defense that's been so bad. It's been so
Terrible.
bad.
Terrible.
So to see possessions like that is nice.
That was good. All things considered, good defense by Kessler.
Yeah, this is like 2 good possessions in a row. Ooh, that's a charge.
Oh,
Yeah.
tough. That changes.
By the
I
way,
don't know.
oh, go ahead.
I just don't know. I honestly don't know what a charge or what a block is anymore in the NBA. So,
Well, and I think they should remove the charge just in general. Because it just, although I guess you got to think about what are the repercussions of removing that call. Does it just
Yeah.
create then just everyone scores constantly? I don't know. But I don't know. I think it's definitely the most subjective.
yeah.
I think that's pretty clearly a charge. I don't know. Are the Jazz challenging this?
Yeah.
I think they're going to be unsuccessful.
Me
But
too.
Paolo Banchero, 50 points tonight.
Wow.
It looks like he might be taking it to another level.
Yeah, I think that was a kind of clear live anyway.
All right. Well, 6-point game, 3 minutes left. This is still a game.
Still a game.
Kessler's guarding Kyrie pretty well there.
He's done a good job the entire game. Look at him go.
Wow. Kessler.
Wow.
That was the play of his season so far, that's for sure.
Absolutely. He's done that a couple times.
Yeah, Kessler's having a good season so far. Nice.
Oh, you got to catch that. Fumble to catch.
That's where I just would love to see him dunk it.
Yep. We're gonna have to start doing the what we did with Rudy over the years of defending the perimeter defense with bunch of
show the clip of
show the clip.
Kyrie. Is that the first Luka 3 of the game? I'm sorry, I hate Luka Doncic. I hate him. I just don't like him as a person. As a player, he's great. I do not like his personality. Right there, I hate you. I don't like it.
His haircut's not doing him any favors right now either. I don't know why that was the choice he made. A bunch of players made bad choices there. You see D'Lo's hair, not a good choice. Luka's hair, not a good choice. I don't know.
He looks like he's probably so irritating. I just don't know how else to describe it. I don't know.
And apparently it works though. Maybe I'll try that at work. I'll just try to complain like that all the time and hopefully just get something out of it.
The thing that's crazy is he's so good that he can honestly act however he wants.
Yeah, I know. Can't stop it.
Oh man, oh man. Utah, down 7? Not too bad. Oh man, the late whistle.
He kind of just fell. That's all he did. I don't know.
I know, and it's because he falls into Markman's leg that it's a foul on Markman.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a Keontae George, Cody Williams, Isaiah Collier season.
Yep.
At this point.
With a mix of in between anything they do, a Jordan Clarkson and a John Collins jumper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hopefully we get some Filipowski, I'll be honest.
Yeah. At least Utah hockey's doing well. They start winning 4-1 right now.
Mm-hmm. Man. Oh. I do. Dang it.
He's just kind of struggling with his
that
decision making today.
Yep. Well, I was just going to say, I love the idea of a key marking and pick and roll. Wow.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, it was good while it lasted. The close game.
It was for that fleeting moment.
Yeah. Hey, but that's kind of a perfect tankathon loss.
Right.
It's the perfect tankathon loss.
Yeah, 69. That's definitely rookie, young player stuff. Although I don't. That's Clarkson doing that one.
Yeah.
But that's the point of the season too. Is Utah just? I don't know if we even have our number one rookie on the team yet.
No, probably not. Kessler got his double-double though, which is nice.
Yeah, Kessler was mean, you could argue he was the best player for Utah this game.
Probably.
I guess Sexton was the best player, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sexton was awesome tonight. 9 for 11. Holy cow.
Markkinen shooting 4 for 15 doesn't help
Yeah,
either.
not Markkinen tonight. But Kessler and Sexton were kind of the best players tonight. They were awesome.
Yeah. Collins 5 for 13 is also.
It's always surprisingly less efficient than you think.
Yeah. Yeah. George 5 for 17. Lots of missed shots. I think that's the moral of the story for tonight.
Indeed. A lot of.
But guess who shot 81% from the field and 66% from three?
Was it Colin Sexton? Indeed.
Ding, 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 ding.
Clarkson shot 27% from the field.
Yeah, that's about average for him.
Hey, who wants to give us a pick for Clarkson?
Please. Or two if you're really feeling like it.
I'll take a second.
Yeah, anything.
You know what? Sexton is doing yeoman's work to help us get Cooper. He's doing his part.
He is doing his part. Yeah, I kind of appreciated it when he in the mid-season or in the preseason media was just like, I'm just gonna shoot the ball. It doesn't really matter what. I'm just gonna go out there and shoot.
Hey, Key's trying to make a late push.
Oh, good.
No, he shot badly. 33%,
Yeah.
1 for 7 for 3. Bad. Well, guys, this was fun. I can't believe that happened to Taylor Hendricks. That sucks so much. And he was kind of filling in the game-winning stats. What did he have? 2 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal, a block. Sucks a lot, but he'll be back. What a bummer.
What a bummer.
Let's see. Capture the map. Let's KG10. Hey, this is a hoops nerd, not ice nerd. I don't get it. Collins is always part of the program. He is definitely part of what the Jazz do every night. I don't know if he's part of what they do. All right, guys. Well, that was lots of fun. Hey, thanks, Sven. That was great. I enjoyed that a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, likewise.
We got to enjoy that injury together.
Yeah, I know. What a way for me to kick off my playback season.
Hendricks.
I know.
Injury.
Yeah, that's a doozy.
Well, thanks a lot, Sven. And guys, make sure if you haven't followed to follow. We'll do this next game. Bye, everyone.
See ya.